Hey, it's Roger at SwiftCloud, and I am excited to bring you landing pages. We've started to add into our awesome eSign and paperless platform different document types. One of the document types that we just started building, and it was an off-the-cuff sort of thing that some clients needed, like, yeah, we could build that. And then we just got to work coding, which is kind of what we do for everything. Clients come to us and we say, hey, I need this thing, and we're like, yeah, that's pretty close to what we've already built, so we just slam it in there and move fast, and we can code a lot of these things. So one of the things that we've built is landing pages. Now, why on earth would we build landing pages when there's so many great landing page generators out there? There's, these other funnel systems. I get it. Ours is very, very simple. Basically, you can make landing pages as fast as you can type the headline. So let's dive into it. Number one, why do we care? The first thing, the reason you should care so much is a culture of experimentation. So if you're a copywriter, for example, you want to be able to very, very quickly test ideas on headlines. That is the dirty secret, is that most campaigns are not profitable out of the gate. Right? So you need to be experimenting with the headline and the offer and the alignment and create this experimentation, this culture of experimentation, because that's how you get to a landing page and a page that starts off at, let's say, 7% opt-in, and the next thing you know, you're at 11%, and then you're at 17%, then you're at 18%, and then you're at 19%, and then you get to 23%, you get some breakthrough. And that only happens through carefully, usually, most often, testing different components of the funnel. So you're testing the traffic and making sure that the traffic is well aligned to the offer. Say it's I'm selling cars and I send people there that only take the metro. They just maybe not care. They may not care, right? Whereas if you sent people who are 3 years into a car lease on a Toyota and you sell Toyotas, that's a very aligned audience, right? And so that's one of the problems with these campaigns. The other thing is just simply the actual page offer, like what's the content. So the reason you want to focus on this is you want to quickly test offers, headlines, experiments, and just really quickly. I mean, as fast as you can type, ideally you come up with, let's say, 10 different headlines and you get exactly 300 unique visitors to each of those, and then look at your opt-in rate and your actual intake rate. And then that's how you start to find a winner. And then you kill all the losers and you riff on the winner and keep coming up with ideas, and you start to hone in on, like, what does this audience really care about, right? So you also want to reduce the time between the ideas in your head and the execution. And that's where these landing pages are key. So I know some of these other systems are out there, are wonderful, and they're more powerful, and they've got all sorts of features we don't. I don't care. What we have right now is awesome. We built it internally because some clients needed it, and we just basically needed to create landing pages really quickly. So we added it to our existing eSign system. Our eSign system, if you are not familiar, is awesome. It can do everything. I believe it is the best thing on the market in terms of paperless platforms. This video is not really to sell you that. Hopefully you know about our systems. If you don't, look into it, because it can do everything paper can do, and a bunch more things that paper could never do. So things like if-then branching logic, and embed images, and embed videos, and like upload files, and like whatever, right? So people are using it for HR onboarding, you name it. We've got PDFs and Smart Docs. I can keep going on about that. That's a separate video. So what we did is we built different types of pages, and landing pages is for us just another page type. And so we put in some special features where if it's a landing page, then right. So what that means for you is it's crazy fast, right? So you want to reduce the time between the idea in your head and the actual execution. And it's so fast, you could be doing it literally from your phone. I have done it myself. I've recorded a video from my phone, just me holding it, walking down the street. I'll show you one in a second. And created the page all from my phone in a span of, let's say, 20 minutes once you're logged in, right? It's really that fast. You also want the ability to clone it to make variations. So especially as you start to find winners and like, yeah, that's a pretty good idea, but I don't know if A or B or C is going to be the best, then I'll show you the save as. You can save a copy of anything, make a few little changes, and then you start to look at the numbers. So we don't yet have reporting. We're working on that literally this week. And so if you see this after February 2020, then we may be a little further along on the whole metrics. But in the meantime, we do have Google Tags and Google Analytics, so you could just use that. What you want to do is you want to get like exactly 100 unique visitors. And this won't cost you hardly any money, right? You can go on Facebook and spend $10 sometimes, right? The other advantage to the save a copy or save a clone is you can clone it for specific traffic sources, for specific sales affiliates, or for biz dev joint ventures. Let's say you build out a sales army. We have a case study on that. Check our website if you're interested. And let's say you get a bunch of different people who are referring you business, and you say, "Hey, I'll flip you, whatever, $50, $500, $5,000, whatever your industry is," and if that works for you. But let's say that's practical, then you can definitely use it to track advertising sources, track joint ventures, etc. Okay, so let's dive into this. So let me show you a couple examples. So a couple things. We've got really only a couple templates right now. We have a couple different choices of what you want on the right, like what is the call to action. The call to action in this case is data capture. This is for lead generation. We do have a scheduler coming up, and that's in beta. You can actually use it right now. And what it will do is schedule an appointment. So if, let's say, you have a sales consultation, or you're using one of these consultation funnels where you first capture them and then you schedule your consultation or schedule your whatever. You get the idea, right? This would be a scheduler. I'll show you that in a minute. We also are working on e-commerce. So our e-commerce right now is limited. We do only have PayPal at this time, but we are definitely working on a whole bunch of payment gateways. And if you need any specific payment gateway and you're using this system, then let us know. And we're in the process of rolling out. Here on the left side, you've got your choice. Right now, really we only have a couple templates. So we have like the headline and the subheadline at the top, and you can customize this and the colors and the font. And then we have here on the left, it's either an image or a video. That's it. This is like, as Henry Ford said, you can have it any way, any color you want, as long as it's black, right? So we can have any template you want as long as it's this template. For now, we are rolling out more templates, and if there's some template that you really want that doesn't really fit this structure, then by all means let us know. But at the end of the day, this is a best practices template, and I've looked at, well, gosh, hundreds of templates in my career because we run an agency. And so we do a lot of this work, and the clients come to us and they're like, "Hey, we're tired of building all this stuff from scratch. Let's just build our own landing page generator, throw it into SwiftCloud." And that's what we've done. And it's just, generally speaking, it's always about the headline, and there's always a subheadline, and then there's some call to action, and then there's this is typically a video sales letter. So this is a short video. Here's one here's the Sales Army blueprint. Here's one I recorded just from my phone in my room. I just literally set my phone on my desk. This is in my bedroom, my second office. This is me out walking on the street. This is a landing page that I roughed in from my phone. I later came back and touched up the text a little bit, and dropped in some text and just refined it a little bit. But I had the idea, like, spur of the moment, out on a walk. A friend of mine is doing this marketing. He said, "Hey, I'll flip you, some money for basically like sending me some clients." Be like, "Okay, yeah, I'll spin something up, right? Send it out to my clients and whatever." So let's dive into it. Let's get actually going. So let me start from the top. So what we want to do is, once you get logged into SwiftCloud, you'll see a page like this. This is becoming an events feed. Soon this will show you everything that is just happening with your account. It's sort of like a rolling feed of things you care about, including competitors. You can set up Google Alerts and then tie that into this, and all sorts of stuff. We got some exciting plans for this. Anyway, on the very top left, what looks like 3 dinner plates. Go ahead and click that. You'll click on Drive. And this will bring you to your main cloud-based drive where you can store anything, including videos and files and PDFs you want to give away, and make your Google, make your docs and that kind of thing. So up at the top, add new, and you'll see there's a bunch of different choices. You got 2 different ways to do this. You could just create a doc and then set the type, or you can go down here to video pages. We have video landing pages. We even have video mail in here, so you could actually send out video messages. But we're kind of big believers in video and increasingly using that. So you also have limited e-commerce. So if you do want to sell something, you'll have to have the item created first, right? Before that, whatever, I'm not going to go into it right now. That's a separate video. But if you have a Tripwire offer, for example, a Tripwire offer is a low-priced offer that's a shy yes, right? So let's say it's a consultation that is, $100 and applied towards any project you do. You charge for that because you get a lot of people kind of, in the case of, let's say, web programming, we sometimes will just give people ideas that they don't necessarily need us. Well, we're going to charge for those kind of consultations, right? If you actually want us to understand what it is that you do. And then that way, if we recommend something that's, we can just be unbiased, right? Shy yes Tripwire offers is typically like a $7, $27, some low-priced offer for somebody to stick a toe in the water with you. And it could look like, whatever, you get the idea. You also have scheduler, right? So scheduler is how you would create something. You have to actually create the asset. So our system is a little bit different than some of the other systems in there, in that you can have any number. You have to define who or what is the scheduler for. So if you're a spa owner, you might have 6 different people, or let's say you actually schedule the massage table, and then what you do is you have different therapists kind of working at that same table, but in terms of you only have one table, so that's the schedule that you want, even though you have different workers, right? You could also do it in such a way, so that scheduler might be for you, or it could be for an asset. It could be boat rental, snowmobile rental, boardroom, whatever. Anyway, in order to make a landing page that has a scheduler on the right side, you have to actually create the scheduler, the actual asset, which is like what or who is being scheduled. And then you create services, right? So that could service, I'll make a separate video about that. Back to the landing pages. Anyway, but those two are, those are options, right? So I just click video landing page. We'll just call this relationship reboot. We'll just do some affiliate marketing here for now, right? Hit save. It's going to think for a second. It's going to then kick you into the newly created asset. Okay, so here we have it. This is the actual page title. It just looks like a title, but you'll see that throughout SwiftCloud, there's a lot of things that if you hover them, they become active. We do that on purpose to kind of not, just sort of not distract you from what's at hand. Same thing with these headlines, right? So as soon as I hover this, right? So learn 3 critical steps to, let's say, reboot without arguments, or I don't know what the fears are, right? Generally, you want a carrot and a stick. You want a good thing and a bad. You want something they're trying to get to and somewhere they're trying to get away from in a perfect world, right? That's just kind of copywriting 101. Well, the copywriters know that, but if you're a business owner, that might be helpful. And what is appropriate for your business is going to vary based on the business and what you sell. If it's debt settlement, somebody's trying to get away from debt, it's an entirely repulsion-based, repulsion-motivated. Well, I take that back, actually. You are trying to get them to the promised land of debt-free, of being debt-free. Right? In the case of financial planning, that's usually about optimization, right? So if it's, let's say, you could scare them, be like, okay, well, there's a little, without, jeopardizing your retirement. So anyway, back to this whole reboot your relationships or fighting. I don't want to say fighting because that's, we'll just leave it as without arguments. But you can see as fast as I can type the headline, that's it. And we're basically generating the page. So in this case, we got a couple different options. And what I want to draw your attention to, these little pen icons sort of peppered throughout the system. Whoops. That's the core offer section. So here we can put in whatever, more text, right? And you can see this is just, the usual sort of, like any kind of text editor, right? You just make a page of information. And in this case, we are drawing them to something next. Okay, so in this case, if it's, let's say, affiliate marketing, I'm not going to call these people, so don't ask for the phone, right? If you're doing lead generation, you might want to. As I mentioned, you can click these texts, so I'm going to change this font color to, we'll get the defaults to white. This is, we're kind of early stage and then making this awesome. Here you've got a bunch of different font choices. I'm going to just leave it. I'm going to leave that as is, and I can close this. Same thing with the button. If I wanted to change the button color, I could right here. I like that color, so I'm just going to leave it, and I'm just going to put learn more. Something like that, and then we'll just click this little check. This video, this is just a placeholder, right? So what we'll do is we'll go on YouTube, and we have choices of either YouTube or SwiftCloud. Now, there's pros and cons to both. So the upside to YouTube is the social component. So hopefully you have a YouTube channel and are building an audience. And if so, you want some of your videos to be seen a lot of times. And you can also be retargeting based on that, right? So there are advertising opportunities. The downside to YouTube is the advertising opportunities by other people. So let's say that you, for example, are a plumber. And as soon as somebody watches videos about plumbing on YouTube, YouTube then is going to say, hey, good news. We know this person's having plumbing issues. They're going to bombard them with other people's plumbing advertising. And that's why you'd want to use SwiftCloud, right? So if you don't want them to see competitors' ads, then you would want to use SwiftCloud. If you don't really care, let's say you sell something that's pretty unique, or let's say at that point you've already captured the people and they're most likely to just take action and just start working with you, then who cares if they see other people's advertising, right? If you don't care, then you could certainly use YouTube. Another advantage to YouTube is you could use other people's videos. So let's say you have a vendor. Let's say you're in the business financing space, and one of the business lenders has given you a video or has some marketing videos that you want to use, or let's say you have some videos that are already on YouTube. Let's say you just want it done fast. So you just record this from your phone, slap it onto YouTube, put in the code here, right? You can do the same with SwiftCloud. You just basically click select file and then just upload the video, right? Or you can dig into your library. If I'm in my help account, so I don't have much in here, but it will think for a second and basically, show me some options. I could put in an image or something like that. Okay, just for example, I'm going to grab this video here, just any old video for purpose of placeholder. And what I'll do is I'll click this little pen here, and let me click that just to reactivate that. And I just wanted notice that I just wanted the ending here, right? Okay, whoops, where was I? Okay, and then I click this little green check and it's going to show there, right? Like so. Okay, so as you can see, this system is incredibly simple. If I wanted to, I could choose a scheduler here. This is all sort of early stage beta. If you have any issues, by all means, let us know. But we're making this better. We care about it. E-commerce, same thing. So right now we are limited to, I don't have any in this help account, but we are limited to PayPal currently, but we will show a credit card form because we're working on that. So if you need that, just let us know and we'll see what we can do. We're working on it and it's near term, and maybe by the time you see this video, it'll be up. Anyway, for now, if you just want to capture leads, that's fine, right? And then down here, I could put additional text, right? So in this case, I put a whole page of sales copy. You can put whatever you want. Get the idea? And that's it. So really, the pages are that simple. At the bottom, you just go and save the page. Okay, so actually, let me go into a little bit more. Now the question is, what happens once they opt in, right? So if you're going to build a sales funnel, then typically you would send them to usually you want to create a self-liquidating offer, what's called a self-liquidating offer, and ideally. So if you're just doing lead generation in your simple, typical business, then the next phase that you want to get them to is indoctrination and learning more about your company. So you want them to see reviews and referrals. You want them to get more into your tribe if you're doing lead generation. If you are doing lead generation and it's practical, you'd ideally want to send them to some low-priced offer to create what's called self-liquidating leads, right? Where the cost of the lead comes out to be net zero. So let's say you paid $20 to generate it per lead, because let's say you spent $20 on advertising, you sent 100 people there and you only got one opt-in rate. This is just, of course, for simple numbers. Then that lead cost you $20, but if you sell them a $20 net profit product, then your actual cost of leads is zero, right? Follow? So that's called self-liquidating leads. And you can do that for even lead generation, right? So you sell some ebook, like you see Damon John right now doing this with financing. He's basically like, buy this book for $7 or something like that. And it's about, sources of financing. Well, they're not actually trying to sell you the book. What they're actually trying to do is create leads. And that's also why you see so many of these gurus giving away a free book, and all you got to do is pay the $7.95 or something. They're trying to create a self-liquidating lead, because the book is like, it actually costs them more money, but if you actually open up your wallet, then you're more likely to, due to the Diderot effect, actually spend more money and then buy the upsell, right? Different matter. That's a longer sort of strategy video. Point being is you're deciding here in this pink box, what's next? Okay, so you have some options. You can, of course, set the email that they're going to get. In this case, they haven't signed anything, so we don't want to delete that. This is a kind of a holdover from eSign. I guess we'll get those templates revised. We do have templates here, so you can save templates on the left and then load that in if you wanted to. That's kind of your own, like those templates are private to you. We also do have global templates back on the main drive. In the very top right, up next to the trash, you'll see a view templates, and you just go ahead and click that, and we got all sorts of different options. Those are like eSign docs and landing pages and you name it. Anyway, so this email, we could send out an email if they've been captured on this form, right? Or we don't have to, right? So if I don't want to, I just hit delete. And if I wanted to add them to a sequence, after they fill out this form, then I certainly could. All I have to do is go here and click that plus and then add to sequence, right? I could also remove them from sequence. That's typically not used with landing pages, but it could be if you have a separate sequence for top of funnel versus bottom of funnel. But anyway, you typically just want to add them to a sequence. That's a sequence of messages. We don't have any set up in here, but we are working on that as well. You can create the sequences. They don't yet fire as of February 2020, but you can create them. The system is in beta, and it will soon actually fire out. So here we want to kill this. And then next we want to know who do you want to notify, right? So it could be you, right? That's the default, but you have all sorts of different options. We can push to other systems, we can notify people. So in this case, we want to, if you were, let's say, generating leads for 20 different plumbers, you could easily clone right down here on the save button, just click this and then save a copy. If you wanted to, you can at any time click here, save a copy. Okay, so these are basically what's going to happen with this data. Next is your actual URL. So we are working on an easy link system. This is mappable. You can map your domain to us, like a secure.yourwebsite.com, or in the case of landing pages, you frequently see try.yourwebsite.com, or client portal, something like that. And then this will be editable down here in the more options. So if we go here and then go, and here's where you choose the themes and the page types, by the way. So if you were to create a doc, notice we've got a bunch of different things like RFPs and job posts and templates and review forms and, you know, elections and polls and quizzes, all sorts of stuff. For the landing pages, here's also where you choose your templates. Pay special attention to this featured image, because this is what you set if you wanted to post it on social media, such as Facebook. Ideally, your image would be 1200 by 628. 1200 by 628 is the suggested file size, and that's not us. That's based on like best practices for social media at the moment. That is a good size for Facebook. It also works pretty well on LinkedIn, and it's not so great for Instagram. Instagram is more like Square. But if you know where this image is going, you can put that here, and that's what the system will pick up. Here's where you can actually change the URL. This does not yet work, but it will soon. You'll see a little save button, and you'll be able to map this to your domain. So this will be like, you know, try.yourwebsite.com, and then you could say, you know, reboot, rel reboot, right? Give it some little thing, and then just hit the little save button. That'll be there. And that's it. So at any given moment, to test your landing page, you got three options. You can click this preview, make sure and hit save first, right? So hit save. And then once that's done, you can click the preview link here. You can also click it down here. And all of that is the same as is in this spot here. So I hope that helps you. And the next step is to get signed up, and we've got tremendous Sunrise beta offers. And if you have any issues, by all means, let us know. We're in a wonderful spot where we're unkillable. We are growing very fast, and we're in a great spot. And we're also small enough that we still care. You let us know about some issues, we're going to jump on it. We definitely want this to be useful and usable and truly, you know, improve your business. So I hope that helps you. This is Roger at SwiftCloud signing off, and speak to you soon. Thanks.